What's up, Internet? We are here continuing off page 8 of our old pal 401 Real Game by CoolBoy. And let's just get down to page 8, where we're going to check out Sansu, and I think this one's going to be real short. But let's see if we can get through this. Because it's edutainment. But 0 divided by 9 is still 0. Okay. I'll just grab the same one. But math, it's a thing that happened. 48 divided by 8. Well, geez. Now, there were actually a lot of Sansu games. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've got a few more on this multi-cart yet. But they at least gave you some interesting concepts for how to play these math problems, if you want to call this playing. But it's basically edutainment, and, you know, that's not inherently a bad thing. If it's done well. I mean, look at Wagyan Paradise. That game is tremendous for edutainment. Well, it's giving us a lot of what is basically the exact same question over and over. Done. Give me a real challenge game. Actually, I shouldn't ask that because they'll start giving me, like, crazy questions I won't be able to actually deal with. But, it's not horrible edutainment, but I've played a lot better edutainment as well. Like, again, Wagyan Paradise was tremendous. I remember playing this one game, or at least a mini-game on one game. I think it was Jumpstart 4th grade, back when I was in 4th grade, and there was, like, this sort of like 2D Descent game you could play. In fact, it reminded me a lot of Subterranea on the Genesis. And that was a pretty fun game for edutainment, if I recall. And even before that, I played the Treasure Mountain games, or at least 3 of them. I really liked the one where you swam around underwater, being topical and coming back to this game. Except in that game, you had to deduce clues to figure out where to find the pufferfish to save the... And that's what happens when you get something wrong. I'm paying attention, I swear. Really. But you had to discover what water creature held the pufferfish, which you used to clog the vent that ooze was seeping into the ocean. That was a really good game, too. Oh, the hitbox on that's a little unforgiving. It lingers a little bit. Less than ideal. But we got a little smiley face to make us feel better. Hooray! Next game. And the next game we are playing is Peepar Time. I think I know what this is, too, which scares me. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a pirate game. And I'm also pretty sure this is a game we're going to spend very little time with. This is one of those games where the guy's going to be moving on his own direct path and you have no real control about it. All you can do is go to the path itself and swap tiles. And I really, 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 really hate these games. I think they're kind of just boring. Oh god, it's a slidey block puzzle too. Okay, I can make this work. No, I can't. Oh god. Did that mention I'm terrible at slidey block puzzles? These are so awful for me. Okay, I need to get rid of that. Wait, nope. No, no, no. Let's not put you there. This is so hard. And it shouldn't be. Okay, let's try one more time. And I'm sure I'm just... Oh, I can't get rid of the pink blocks. Okay. Okay, he doesn't actually have to go through the entrance. I was really worried about that. I'm surprised I got that. I'm sort of starting to follow the logic to this game. What? No intelligence. He just randomly picks a direction to jump on. That's horrible. I think we're going to hurry on to the next thing because I'm not spending more time on that. No, thank you. Alright, next we have Legend of Cog A. This game is really hard, but pretty fun. I remember there's a DS, I guess, remake or sequel to it, which is actually a legitimately awesome game. But this is our Princess Hime-san, or whatever. And we're this ninja guy who's going to run around and jump on trees. And falls off trees and dies horribly. Okay. Yeah, this game's got kind of a ridiculous jump. And you have no control after you've actually left the ground, which is awesome. So you really kind of have to figure out what you have to do ahead of time, and it's really kind of awkward to try and do that. Okay, well, I'm green now. I'm not sure what that means, but... Oh, I think I've got bigger shuriken. Awesome. Again, I'm only really super familiar with the DS sequel, which I think my brother had, and he let me play once or twice, because he got stuck, and I actually had a lot of fun with that game, even though I didn't have a ton of interest in it, because, I mean, this game is pretty infamous for its difficulty and lack of super goodness. It's not a bad game or anything, it's just way too difficult for its own good, and the lack of jump control kind of sucks. And you're dead. Whoa, let's grab another one. I think I actually blocked that shuriken with my sword. That's kind of cool. Oh, but things happening. And all the people are dying. Because I'm the best ninja ever. Maybe. Huh. And for a second I thought the game had bugged out. I was just gonna take all those points. I was like, I'm just gonna watch all these people die randomly for tons of points for no reason. Whoop. Okay, well, we lost our power up, but we're still good. And that's the enemies. He's got like a little breathy straw. That's kind of neat. And I'll knife you, and I'll knife you. Alright, that was a fast chapter. Up! Uh-oh. I do appreciate that it seems to be constantly, like, throwing new challenges your way. Like, that first one was kind of long, but this one is, and the second one was real quick. And this one was just a matter of get to the top of the stage. That's actually really cool that they're really swapping things up. I like that. I think this is more, kill everyone. I think. If we could get more, peaches, that would not hurt my feeling, though. My one feeling needs more peaches. Or pears, actually. I've got some pears upstairs. So maybe when I'm done, I will go traverse the kitchen and have some pears, because I think they're about ready to eat. And pears are really good. Alright, there we go. Don't jump on stairs. Got it. Get out of my way, I need some pears! And as established, they're upstairs. Rescued! Aw, yeah. Well done. Cutscenes! This place seems kind of familiar. No! Hey look, we're back on like level 1. How about that? I guess we kind of, sort of, somewhat beat this game. Well, more accurately, we probably just hit a checkpoint that makes the game loop a bunch of times, and then we'll eventually beat the game if we did that a bunch more times. And I don't really have a lot of interest in that, but still, you know, I'm kind of impressed with the, like, 3 levels I saw of this game. Alright. Hey, new level. I may have spoken too soon. Alright, Legend of Cog A. You have impressed me. But we should move on. Alright, next we have Guillemos. I don't know what this game is. Although, it sounds like it was using a few too many chords from the Star Wars theme a second ago. Or, rather the... maybe Assault on Death Star theme. Kind of interesting, though. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Zaxxon, mixed with, like, maybe some Xevious, with, like, the, shooting targets below and above you. Although that sprite flickering is a bit of a problem. It's kind of hard to aim at stuff when it disappears in front of you, and you can't be sure whether or not it's dead because you shot it, or just because its collision detection just sort of removed itself along with its sprite while your shots were on screen. Because sprite limitations, they're kind of awkward to work around sometimes. This is, very much what it is. Not overly impressive, but, well, hey, I can, shoot both at once. Awesome. Let's overload the sprite limits and make everything disappear. Whoop. But, third-person shooting. This is hardly the first game that's ever done it, and, I mean, even at this time it had been done better. It's not really all that particularly interesting. What's Mode B? No, I want Mode B! There we go. Let's see what Mode B is all about. Okay. So, Mode B basically just gives you a crosshair. And it feels like you have less control over your ship. That's peculiar. Huh. Well, it's interesting they're giving you, like, a second way to play this game, even though this... I think it's trying to sort of simulate being, like, a land vehicle, as opposed to, like, a spaceship, which is why you can't sort of fly above those spaceships now. And I think that's kind of functionally interesting. Kind of reminds me of, I think Combat 2 had a mode like this. Although I don't think too many people remember Combat 2 because it never officially came out. That was a game you had to mail order to play. And I mean, it was a game that was about 75% completed, as most Atari games at the time felt like, but, you know, that was actually a really fun game for what it was. It was more combat, except it had, like, a mode where you could control bullets, if I recall. It's been a while since I played Combat 2, but, functionally interesting. I'll give it credit that it's trying to give you, like, 2 different ways to play this game. 2 different scenarios. One where you're a space captain, and one where you're, like, a little tank pilot or something. That's kind of neat. Maybe not revolutionary and maybe not well executed, but it's interesting enough. I'll give it that much credit. Come on. Alright. And finally we have Hydlide Special. Sing the song if you know it. This is a game where not much happens, and that's probably for the best, because that means you can stop playing it soon. Although if you try and beat this, it's actually quite a pain in the ass. Because you attacked instead of defending, you spaz. Play again. It's like if you made a really bad version of Ease. Or maybe like a worse functional version of Lagoon. Because it's got a similar system where to recover life you have to stand on grass and not move ever. But we're trying to rescue a bunch of fairies. I think one was in one of these trees, but all the rest are booby-trapped with bees. And they get angry. Ah, bees! No thank you. Okay. Bees should be gone now. They're not gone now! Awesome. Alright, let's see if we can find the, bee fairy. See, if you want to actually play a good version of this, go play 3D Game Heroes. And then go watch my review of 3D Game Heroes back when I had a really crap mic and didn't know what I was doing. Like I know what I'm doing now. There we go! We saved the fairy. Hooray! Oh god! More bees! This game is terrible. Like, it's just not good. And I've heard, like, the PC version is actually really good. I'm inclined to not believe that. And I think we lost our fairy friend. So now we're just gonna heal up. Completely interesting gameplay. Ow. They really don't despawn. That's kind of frustrating, especially given that there's about, oh, what, maybe like half a dozen trees you can search on that map, and all but one have those things. That makes finding the one that doesn't have those things even more awkward. Also, look at how little experience we're getting. And I mean, I get it. We're fighting slimes like the first thing in a game, but I want to point out we have to fill up that experience bar in order to gain one level, which will give us basically no stat boost. This game is grind the game. And with a song that is maybe about 10 seconds long. That said, if you want to play an actual interesting version of Hydlide, try and track down the Mega Drive Super Hydlide. I played that game for a little bit. It's not great. I don't think there's such a thing as a great Hydlide, but it's a functionally more deep and interesting version of Hydlide that's actually kind of, sort of enjoyable to play. Doesn't feel like complete torture. And it has, like, classes and, item limitations and stats and stuff. It's like, it's actually a genuinely half-decent RPG. Well, for Hydlide, anyway. This music is terrible. But we all know John Williams went and stole this music when he made, Raiders. That was John Williams, wasn't it? I'm not up on my music composers or anything. Oh, right. I'm in trees. That doesn't count as flat grass for me to suck on in order to gain my health back for reasons. I don't know, like, I can kind of sort of rocks! I don't think I'm ready to fight rocks yet. I am absolutely not ready to fight rocks yet. Damn you, Hydlide, for being Hydlide. Alright, so let's look back at the 5 games we've covered this week. Sansu. It was... For what it was at the time, it was decent-ish edutainment in a world where DK Junior math exists. But even back then, there was better, edutainment, and there certainly is now. Peep Our Time is, I think, a pirate original, but it's certainly a game I don't like. It's a concept I don't like. I find those games boring, and I'm terrible at slidey block puzzles. No, thank you. Legend of Cog A. I'm genuinely surprised about this one, actually. Last time I played it, I remember really disliking it. This time, I actually ended up really, really enjoying it. Guillemot's was more interesting than it was any sort of functionally good, and Hydlide is freaking Hydlide. Enough said. Of these past 5, do I think it made this cartridge worth picking up? No. But that said, Legend of Cog A. If you can find that cheap, give it a shot, because it's actually a pretty good arcade game, evidently. Anyway, join me next week where we're going to look at Star Luster, and maybe go check my review on that game out in the meantime to know what you're getting into. But until then, peace out, Internet.